Welcome to the first episode of the Days Filler with Bilal Boating. You know how we do on this show. We bring you the hottest fillers from in and out of the country. Now, you know the culture here. After we give you the filler, we make a freestyle about it. For today, the story is sad, so the freestyle is going to be at the end of the video. So stick with us till the end of the video. You actually need to hear this story. So let's get right into it. Afghanistan has been involved in one war or the other for the past 4 decades. This war has always been influenced by foreign countries like the British, United States, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and many other countries. How did this all begin? To understand the whole story, we must start from the beginning, how it all started. So, this is how it all began. In 1978, during the Cold War, the communist group led a saur revolution against the then first Afghanistan president, Hafizullah Amin. Once in power, the People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan ruled the nation with an iron fist. There were curfews, travel bans, and mass incarcerations. All levels of societies, from academics to politicians to doctors, nurses, all joined the resistance. By 1979, the Soviet Union stepped in to support the communist government. This caught the attention of the Western world like the United States. The United States, with the help of Pakistan and other Arabian groups, started a covert operation to help the resistance, to train them and arm them. The resistance were called the mujahideen. Many of these mujahideen were common men who were trying to defend their country from invasion from foreign people. Foreign fighters also came to take up arms against the Soviet Union. And if you don't know which people the Soviet Union were, they are the now Russians. They wanted to end the occupation and bring down the brutal communist government. By 1988, the war started to turn in the favor of the Mujahideens due to the supply of weapons from the United States and its allies. The Soviet Union then started their withdrawal from the country later that year. The withdrawal was completed in the year 1889. After the Soviet Union withdrew from the country, later on that year, the United States also followed them. They also left the country. They abandoned the country, leaving the country to the warlords. Final communist president of Afghanistan, Hafizullah Amin, tried to make peace with the Mujahideens but failed. He warned the people that without peace and Afghan-led consensus, Afghanistan would become a pawn in global power game. In the letter to a Mujahideen leader, Ahmed predicted a good future for Afghanistan. But then it was too late because his reputation had already been damaged as serving as the leader for the communist group. The city was divided along geographical and ethnic lines as a result of the wars and the battles that was going on in the country. The forces under the control of these warlord commanders were accused of crimes like land grabbing, rape and torture. In 1996, the Taliban arrived in Kabul to liberate the people from these warlords. These same warlords that were funded by the United States. For those of you who don't know what Kabul is the capital city of Afghanistan. So after the Taliban liberated them and took over the capital, they actually hanged Najibullah and his brothers in Times Square. During the 5-year rule of the oppressive Taliban regime, the West continued to largely ignore the Afghanistan. Until Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda carried out the 9/11 attacks in 2001. Then George W. Bush invaded Afghanistan. To destroy Al-Qaeda, the US enlisted the help of their very own warlords who wrought havoc over Kabul during the Civil War. The US made their move and within months, the Taliban fell. After that, the US then turned to nation building and then talked of lessons learned. The US then announced an end to major combat in Afghanistan in the year 2003. A constitution was written, elections followed, and new legislation with women taking positions. But then as years passed, there were cracks in the coalition, and as the Taliban fought back and civilian casualties mounted, along with armed forces. Opinions then, a new US president, who happened to be Barack Obama, had to make a decision, go big or go home. President Obama decided to send 17,000 troops and then 30,000 more. By 2010, around 100,000 US troops would be in Afghanistan. In May 2011, Osama bin Laden was found and killed in Pakistan, but then the war still continued. Obama promised to bring most of the US troops by the end of 2016, but then came in a new president, Donald Trump, who made a new deal with the Taliban that if they keep out of terrorist groups and then they do not attack the US troops, they would leave Afghanistan by 2021. But then came in a new president, President Joe Biden, who was sworn in. He rather decided to pull out all the US troops from Afghanistan. He mentioned the Taliban wouldn't immediately take over. Well, he was wrong. On August 15, 2021, the Taliban took over or captured the capital of Afghanistan, Kabul, and declared the war in Afghanistan over. The Afghan National Security Forces were shocked by the speed of light at which these Taliban took over the city, so they didn't even put up. Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani fled the country, claiming that he wanted to avoid bloodshed. The Taliban, after taking over, promised not to harm civilians and also allow women in various positions and occupations. US President Joe Biden has now sent 6,000 troops to assist evacuation of US allies and then civilians of the Afghanistan. He has made available for 2,000 Afghans to be eligible to special immigration visas. As a result of pressure on flights, some have lost their life trying to flee the country to the United States to be able to be eligible to some of the free 2,000 available special immigration visas for the Afghan civilians. So the question here is, what is going to happen to these women and children and old people in the country? This is a sad story about Afghanistan. Let's just hope that the Taliban's taking over Kabul this time is not going to result to anything violent, because guys, like, from my point of view, we are in the 21st century. Like, war should be over by now. Like, we shouldn't be fighting such wars. It should be over by now. Let's just hope that things goes well with them, and then let's just pray that no more people like loses their lives this time. Like, it's very sad. Pray for Afghanistan. Try and find, any source or any means that you can try to help. Maybe sharing what's going on or sharing online for people to pray for them or something of that sort. Anything at all you can do to help Afghanistan, it will be greatly appreciated by the people in their prayers. This is what's going on in Afghanistan. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Leave your thoughts in the comment section and see you in the next video. Almost forgot your freestyle. See, this is a sad story, so freestyle is going to be simple. So let's go. Let's drop a beat here. What is good for absolutely nothing? War, yeah, absolutely nothing. Pray for Afghanistan's. La. Thank you for watching. I'm going to leave the story in the description below so you can read if you want to read after watching this video. See you in the next video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new.